Hi, I'm Wendy Vecchi. I'm at the Ranger booth at CHA, and today I'm playing with my product Clearly for Art, and I have a whole new twist on it using Tim's Rock Candy Crackle Paint and Ranger's Glue and Seal. Let me show you how much fun this is. So what I did was, to start out, I took a sheet of my Clearly for Art Blackout, and my idea was that I wanted to put crackle paint on here, but this is not going to stick on here because this is a shiny surface. So my idea was to use Ranger's Glue and Seal product. So what I did was I took my whole sheet of Clearly for Art Blackout and I painted a thin layer of Glue and Seal on it. I set that aside and let it dry, and then when it was dry I painted it with Rock Candy Crackle Paint. And then I set that aside to dry. And this is what it looked like. So I did some uneven painting. I wanted some really thick cracks, and then I wanted some areas where I put less areas, so less paint, so it's going to have smaller cracks. So that's what it looks like on the clear. So I'll show you how we progressed from that. Okay, so here's my Clearly for Art Blackout. And like I said, it's been painted with the Glue and Seal, and I used the matte finish. And then I painted it with Tim's Rock Candy Distress Crackle Paint. So that's what this flower is now. And then I die cut it with his Tatter Florals dye. So my idea was to make this look metallic. Big metallic embellishments would be pretty pricey, so I wanted to see what I could do to help the economy. Really, it's true. So, what I thought would work was the alcohol ink metallic mixatives. You can use one, you can use two, you can mix the colors, and I'll show you how to do that. One thing you need to know about the metallic mixatives is that they have a little metal mixing ball in here, so you want to shake them and make sure it's really shaken really well. And a little bit goes a long way on these. This bottle will last forever. So a drop or two, and I'll do two colors. I'll do the silver, and I'll do a drop or two of gold. And then you want a kind of a generous dose of alcohol blending solution, and that's really the key to the whole thing. Okay, so I'm just going to pounce this on here. And if you use the alcohol inks before, you know they dry really very fast. But because I use the Glue and Seal and the Rock Candy Crackle Paint on here, that really slows down the drying process a lot. So I'll go ahead and blast it with the heat tool. And what you'll see when it starts to dry is that the cracks really start to appear again from the Rock Candy Crackle Paint. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and add some more. On the black, I like to kind of let some of the black show through so it looks pretty tarnished. If you like that, quit. If you think you have too much, you can always go ahead and add some more blending solution to it. If I want it to have a little bit of a rusty look to it, now that it's got the metallic mixatives on here, I can add some other colors of alcohol ink. So I'm going to add some rust color and a little bit more blending solution. And you can see now it's going to look even a little bit more rusty. Now, could I use the alcohol inks on the black? You couldn't because they're transparent ink, but because I added the metallic mixatives, now you can add in the other colors, so it's really pretty cool. So once again, even though it's been sitting here a while, I have to dry it again. So, and you can see as it dries, then the cracks really start to appear again. Okay, and because I don't like my backs undone, I can just go ahead and pounce this color on here to kind of color my back. And sometimes what you'll see is that the back turns out so cool, it's like, oh, I think I'll use that instead of the other. And you can see, I mean, the alcohol inks are awesome. So I'll go ahead and dry that, and that really, I think, looks great. And it looks like a metal embellishment. I had a gentleman here yesterday, and he's like, how did you cut these soda cans so I'm not getting cut? Which I thought, now that makes me happy because he gets it. It looks like metal. Okay, so if I wanted to stamp on this, I'm going to need to use, oops, I got it stuck on here. I need to use archival ink because it's waterproof and it'll dry on my Clearly for Art. So I'll just take my background stamp and my Jet Black archival ink, and I'll just go ahead and stamp my flower, and that'll add a pattern on here. Okay. And once again, I'll want to dry that. And what's amazing is even though I added all these products to the Clearly for Art, it does not change the property of it. So it's still bendable. So this is a moldable material. While it's warm, you need to shape it. And it cools off in about 10 seconds. And you can see it's rock solid now, it won't bend or break. The thing that's really extra unique about this is that if I shaped it, I don't like what I did, all I have to do is put it back on my craft sheet, hit it with the heat tool, and it goes completely flat every single time, so you basically start all over again. If I decide I didn't like that, if I use alcohol blending solution, I can completely take off that color and start all over again. So it's really a very cool combination. And here's what a finished piece looks like. So this was a Clearly for Art blackout, painted with glue and seal, the matte finish. It was painted with the Tim's Rock Candy Crackle paint then, and then metallic mixatives over it. So now we have a nice sturdy dimensional flower that looks like metal, and it's plastic. Thank you.